Hey guys, it's Tarkan here, back with another video. I want to talk a little bit briefly about something today, which I mention a lot in a lot of my videos, and it's the idea that you really want to make it about you and not them when it comes to manifesting a specific person into your life, whether it's an ex you want to get back or it's just somebody you have a crush on or whatever it is, right? I want to talk about it again and a little bit more in detail because it is so fundamentally important. And of course, one of the reasons it's important is because if you want to attract anything into your life, be it money or a house or a car or a job or whatever it is, you want to demonstrate and adopt attractive qualities, right? And of course, I'm not talking about being physically attractive necessarily, although I want to touch on that briefly too, because physical attractiveness really does come from the inside. You could see somebody who might be overweight or who might have certain physical, I don't know, traits that aren't considered necessarily attractive on a social standard, on a sort of a broader cultural standard, or that the media may not necessarily signal as being physically attractive. But really, you could see a person like that and there'd be something about them. There's something about them that pulls you towards them, there's something magnetic. They have a certain charisma that they walk around with. You know, they could be short and fat and bald, look like Danny DeVito or something like that. But there's just a quality about them that makes people want to be around them, that makes people want to talk to them, makes people want to do nice things for them, makes people want to smile at them all the time. And really, that's the kind of attractiveness that I'm talking about. And that kind of attractiveness takes place on an energetic, vibrational level. And it has to do with the way that those people see themselves. They have adopted a certain perspective about themselves and have started telling a story about themselves that is very empowering, right? They see themselves as being attractive. They see themselves as being worthy of all the goodness that they could possibly create in their lives, that they could possibly receive. And for a lot of you out there, I want to say this, for a lot of you out there watching this right now and that really do want to get an ex back or a specific person into your life, you're coming at it from a perspective and from an angle of not necessarily seeing yourself as very worthy of the thing. In a way, you're putting that person on a pedestal, and in a way, you're seeing them as being better or more important than you. And that is something that you have to begin to shift. You really have to shift that focus away from putting them on the pedestal, making them important, expecting them to give you permission to love yourself, to see yourself as worthy, because that is really what is going on so many times with this kind of, I see it all the time with my clients. I see it, people that write me emails and even in the comments. I see it coming through where the people have this sense of urgency about it. I can tell that they're sitting around all day or whenever they have a free moment, they're thinking about that person and how can they get that person to love them more. And when you think about, when you have that as being your sort of major point of focus, what you're really signaling to the universe and what you're really sending out there vibrationally is, I'm not worthy of love. I'm not receiving enough love. I have to chase love. It's complicated to get someone to love me, but I can't love myself and I can't be happy, and I can't give myself permission to do that until they allow me to give myself permission to do that. And that, of course, from a creating and manifesting standpoint is so ass backwards, right? You're never going to get anywhere that way. You're not just going to not get anywhere that way when you're manifesting a relationship with somebody, a romantic relationship. That will impact your friendships negatively, your work relationships, all your relationships, and really anything that you want to manifest, and be it money, be it a car, be it anything. You don't see yourself as being powerful enough or worthy enough of love and appreciation and of having the happiness that you actually were born with, that was your birthright to have on this planet. It's all our birthright to have that on this planet. And that's a fundamental principle of manifesting, by the way, in law of attraction, is you start from the principle, from the set point, and from the perspective of saying, I am worthy. We are all worthy of receiving what we want. We came here to create what we want. We came here to live a joyful life, a life of ease, all right? It doesn't mean that there won't be difficulties. There will always be difficulties and challenges. Of course, it's in how you handle those things and what story you tell yourself about those things. But the challenges and difficulties are really just there to help us clarify what we want. And then once they do that, they're kind of done. That their job is done, right? The problems, the challenges, once they demonstrate to us how we would rather be operating the world, what we would rather have, if I go through a time when I don't have a lot of money and I'm living hand to mouth and day to day and I'm struggling to pay bills, that condition is informing me of two things. One, it's informing me of how I'm doing vibrationally in terms of what am I attracting. Because if I don't have that feedback from my physical mirror, then I don't really know at what vibrational set point I am at that given moment, or how I am sort of fundamentally vibrating and where my energy is at sort of in a general kind of overall day-to-day mode, right? Without that feedback, then I don't know that, so I can't shift my vibration, right, to be more productive, to help me create and manifest the things that I prefer. But also, secondly, they help you to understand what it is that you do prefer. If I say, well, that's why we always say in affirmations, stop making statements like, well, I don't want to be poor. Start making statements like, I am rich. Because if you're coming from the perspective of being poor, then of course, the opposite of that is being wealthy and abundant and having enough money all the time at the end of each month, or to pay your bills or whatever it is. So the idea, of course, is there that these challenges and problems, and Abraham Hicks calls it contrast, of course, is letting you know what it is that you prefer. Right? If I'm poor, then I prefer to be in a state of being wealthy. If I'm single and that bothers me and it's giving me challenges and makes me feel bad about myself, then of course I'd rather be in a situation where I'm in a relationship. So clarity is another thing that those situations give you. Okay? But to get back to it, and I got off on another tangent there, and I'm sorry about all the background noise, by the way. Speaking of tangents, it's summertime, my windows are open, and there's a lot of motorcycles and cars and people on the street with their dogs and jibber-jabbering and all that stuff. So around here, it rains most of the year, and when the sun comes out, when the weather's nice, people take advantage of it. And they try to be outside as much as possible. So anyway, in case you are hearing a lot of background noise, that's what's going on. But so think about that in terms of like the people that you want to attract and what it is that's so attractive and charismatic about them. And that is kind of, in a nutshell, is the attitude that you want to adopt, because that is going to switch the dynamic for you. That's going to turn things around. Not only is that going to make your significant person, your specific person, want to be closer to you energetically, it's going to make so many other people be closer to you. It's going to make people way more cooperative in your life. You're going to find people just being easier to get along with, being more generous, opening doors for you. It's just fundamentally a better way to be. And so you want to start adopting that mindset about yourself. You want to stop putting them on a pedestal. You want to stop seeing them as being more important or more worthy than you. In other words, stop seeing them like they're a rock star. Okay? That's fundamentally what it is, and that's really the vibration and the mindset that so many of you out there are coming from, that are approaching this from. And I can't stress this enough, how important it is for you to start seeing yourself as the rock star, start seeing yourself as the hero, start seeing yourself as worthy, putting yourself on that pedestal. And again, this is not, before I get all the comments about narcissism and all that, this is not about narcissism. This is not about being an egomaniac, because people who operate on that level are not loving themselves. That's the opposite of loving yourself. People who truly love and appreciate themselves don't manipulate other people. People who truly love and appreciate themselves are not narcissistic, don't have a big ego, and they don't see themselves as better than anybody else. People who truly love themselves see themselves as equal to others, not better. But people who truly love themselves also don't see themselves as being less than others. And if you're coming from that perspective right now, where you are fundamentally pining for this person because you see yourself as being less than them on some level. And that really is the truth. It's the same as if I want to, manifest $1 million. In some sense, I might see the $1 million as being unobtainable because it's better than I am. I treat it as a rock star. I treat it as a thing that's sort of bigger than anything else. And in my mind, it's bigger than anything else, right? So I want you to start taking that into consideration. And I want you to start thinking about it from this perspective. I want you to start telling stories to yourself that are more empowering. And you start saying to yourself, this is something that's really great, and I borrowed this from a book called Personal Alchemy by Michelle something Dobbins. I'll try to write that in the description box below for you. It's a great book, and it's about how to really look at yourself differently and how to work on your personal vibration to be able to raise your vibration more efficiently and quicker, but also to come to develop your self-love and your self-appreciation more. And one of the things that she recommends in the book is to make a statement of being. It's kind of like a mission statement, right? I mean, I'm not going to explain what a mission statement is. I think that people understand what a mission statement is. But basically, you want to make a statement that kind of fundamentally encapsulates who you want to be in the world, how you want to show up in the world. And you keep it short, right? But I want you, if you are out there and you are interested in manifesting a relationship, try to make a mission statement about the relationship. Try to make a mission statement in the sense of that is about how you want to show up in the relationship, or really in any relationship. All right? And you might start with something that I said, and yes, I'm wearing shorts. You might start with something that I said earlier, which is to make the mission statement about how you're going to show up as a charismatic, magnetic, attractive person in the relationship. I am a catch. I am a person who's a catch. I'm a prize. I see myself as a prize. I'm worthy of receiving love, and I give love freely and easily. These are the kinds of things you might want to put into your statement of being. Because when you do that, it's almost like setting goals or making a list of goals or how you want things to be, or making a list of positive aspects. It's similar to that. And it's a little bit similar to affirmations, except in a different sense. It's not something that you're necessarily going to repeat all the time or that kind of thing. It's going to be a simple statement of that sort. Right? I'm a person who sees himself as a catch. I'm a person who sees himself as a prize. I am an attractive person. I'm a person who gives love easily, receives love easily, right? I'm a charismatic person. I'm a magnetic person. And you want to write it down so that you read it every day, so that you can focus on it every day, and so that you keep reminding yourself every day of who you are, who you're going to be showing up in a relationship, that you're going to decide to be the charismatic person that you look up to, that you admire, that it's going to be your own counsel that you hold, that no matter how anyone else is showing up in your life or not showing up in your life, it's not going to knock you off your center so much and so easily, right? And this is where that's why you do these self-love techniques, where you raise your awareness of yourself as being important, as being worthy, because as you do, and as you become stronger in that, and stronger in yourself, what other people do and say isn't going to hurt you so much. It's not going to affect you so much. It might be annoying more than anything. Yeah, they're difficult to get, or whatever it is, or yeah, oh, they pissed me off today, or somebody said this, somebody was a jerk to me. It just won't affect you that much. You kind of you'll be able to just laugh it off and brush it off much easier than you were before, okay? So that's a very important thing to get into, seeing yourself as the person that you would want to date. That's another way I'm going to put it. And that's really comes down to embracing this principle of self-love and self-acceptance, all right? And I said this in a video I did maybe last summer or something like that, where you kind of want to see, this plugs into this technique too, and there's a lot of new subscribers, so I'll touch on this again real brief, which is basically that if you want to attract somebody into your life as a lover or a mate or a spouse or whatever, same thing really, you want to start to see yourself through their eyes in terms of how they're going to perceive you and how you want them to perceive you. So you see yourself as a catch. You see yourself as charismatic and magnetic and energetically and vibrationally attractive, which, by the way, and which will radiate to the surface and also make you more physically attractive, no matter how you look, no matter how much you weigh, or if you got 3 legs or whatever the hell it is, okay? It's going to make you radiate. It's going to make you shine. It's going to make you beam. But really what that is, of course, is your energetic vibrational signal that is now emanating this message to everybody. Hey, I'm a person who appreciates himself. I'm a person who loves herself. I'm a person who sees herself as a catch and as a prize. All right, come over here, look at me, beep, 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 beep. Of course, you're not doing this for the purpose of attracting people. What's happening here is you're doing it to love yourself more and to feel better and to just be a happier person. But what's going to happen is that it will attract people. That will be the default that would be like the byproduct of that, is that way more people are going to want to be around you. Way more people are going to find you attractive. You're going to get calls for dates and texts and, more Tinder hits and all that kind of stuff. And yes, your specific person also is going to come around again and start giving you more attention. And they'll be like, what's changed? What's different? They're going to sense it. They're going to sense something's different about you. They're going to sense that level of charisma and self-appreciation and love that you've now developed. And they're going to want a piece of that. Okay? They're not going to want to, they don't want to be your rock star and on your pedestal. They want to see you on your own pedestal. You start seeing yourself as an equal to them, not as better than them and not as worse and not as anything lower than them. You start seeing yourself as an equal to them. And in any healthy relationship and partnership, of course, that's what you want to achieve. It's about somebody being your equal, okay? You're not going to want to treat them as a rock star when you get them back in the relationship. They're not going to want to be treated like that. Nobody wants to be treated like that. It's weird. There's a lot of pressure that comes with that you put on the other person when you expect them to be the source of your happiness. You have to be the source of your own happiness. And when you do that, other people are going to want to join you in that. And it's going to be a collaborative effort. Your relationship will be a collaborative effort, okay? So try it out. I wouldn't really call this a technique. I mean, write it down. Think about who you are. This is more a video about a certain principle that I want you to think about, okay? So I hope that it helps you. It's kind of clear. I don't know if this one was that... maybe it was a little bit more esoteric than some of the other videos, but I kind of like to do things like that too. I like techniques, and you'll hear me talk about techniques, and I will get more into sort of self-love techniques, but of course, I'm never going to make videos and be like, 1, 2, 3 steps to this, right? I just don't like those kind of videos. So much of this has to be something that you feel. And I think a lot of you guys out there that, when you get a video of mine, you like it so much, and I read all the amazing comments from you guys, and thank you for those, by the way. And I wish I could answer and reply to every single one at this point. I can't, but I'll continue to do the best I can. But I think that it's because you sense of something that's more sort of energetic and vibrational coming out of the message itself, which is kind of how I want it to be, because I'm going to talk about what I feel, what's worked for me, how I see the world and how I see things, but fundamentally and basically, it's going to reach you in the way that it needs to reach you, all right? And once I kind of hit record and I upload this and I post it to YouTube, it's not my video anymore. It's not really even my message anymore. It's yours now. So, take what I say, and apply it to your own life and apply it to your own thinking a little bit, and start seeing yourself a little bit differently every day. Now, when I say something like see yourself as an equal to the person you want to manifest, really take that to heart and really think about it and really try to see yourself from that perspective. Sometimes it helps a little bit to kind of go into a couple of minutes of meditating and kind of try to exit your own mind a little bit, and try to look at yourself from an outside observer's point of view. That's an easy way for me to sometimes kind of look at myself from a different angle, from a different perspective, because we operate here, most of us, in this little space, and it's hard to, what is that, like navel gazing? It's difficult for us to kind of get any real perspective on ourselves and our situation in our lives from this tiny little space. You want to start thinking from a bigger space, all right? You want to stop giving little you all the power, little you being your ego mind, your monkey mind, little you being the one that wants to manifest all these things, that's desperate of all these things. And you want to start operating more from the mindset of big you being your inner being, your higher being, that spiritual part of yourself that is closer to God, that is still over there in the non-physical. that's guiding you all the time. That's big you. Big you knows that you're worthy of everything that you want. Big you understands that you're capable of creating and manifesting anything that you want. Big you doesn't see anything as a big deal, doesn't see anything as complicated, doesn't see anything as difficult to obtain. Big you loves you. Big you knows you're worthy of love. Little you will go, I don't know, why would they want to be with me? Ugh, I'm fat, I gotta lose weight first, I don't have any money. You know, that's little you. Little you comes up with problems and excuses, all right? Little you puts people on a pedestal. Big you knows how amazing and awesome you are, what an amazing, powerful creator you are, and what you're capable of, which is pretty much anything. It is anything, really, right? So, I'm done babbling now. I'm having one of those days where I think sometimes when I do these videos, maybe I should let little me take over a little bit more, because little me has a plan usually, whereas big me is like, just hit record and start babbling about something and worry about it later. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, please hit subscribe now. Hit like if you like the video. If you want some personalized coaching, you'll find that information in the description box below. Thank you to everyone who's been sending me donations. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. If you are interested in doing that, just leaving me a tip for these videos, it's much appreciated, and you'll find links for that in the description box as well. Also, I want to say how amazingly fast the Facebook group has been growing, and so if you haven't joined that, go on over there. There's some great people just like you, people watching this channel, who are on the same trip as you are, who have the same journey, trying to do the same things. Go over there, talk to each other, get to know each other, support each other, give each other ideas and tips and books and whatever it is, or just commiserate a little bit. That's fine too. Like I've said before, this can feel like a lonely journey sometimes. So go find the people who are on your journey and build a community, build a tribe, all right? That can make you stronger and more effective. So thank you for all that, guys, and until next time, I'm 𝗙ص𝗿, and bye-bye.